Bonjour, welcome to 𝐂𝐻𝐾 French. Bienvenue à 𝐂𝐻𝐾 French. Today we're going to talk about how to be fluent in French. So first, what does being fluent mean? Being fluent means that you are able to communicate your thoughts in your targeted language and not having to think too much about it. It also means that you're able to use your targeted language to define words that you don't know. It means that you think in your targeted language and you also understand things in your targeted language. And you feel comfortable when using your targeted language. Can you become fluent in French within a year? You can, however, it's going to depend on a couple of things. First, it's going to depend on your goal. Do you want to be able to communicate during your trip to Canada or to France, for example? Do you need grammar skills to land a job, or do you need core French vocabularies? Depending on your goal, you'll be able to call yourself fluent in French sooner or later. How about your contact with the language? The more contact you have with the language, the faster you'll reach fluency. You want to strive for immersion even if it's at home. Surround yourself with the language as much as you can. You want to read, write, watch different things in French to help you to get familiar with the language more and more. How about your time commitment? How long are you willing to devote to learning French? Are you planning on learning for 30 minutes a day or 2 hours? Do you want to study every other day or just on the weekends? The amount of time that you're willing to devote to learning French is going to determine how fast you reach fluency. So you want to use your time wisely and efficiently. What type of study method are you wanting to use? Depending on your goal, you're going to have to use different style of study methods. If you're wanting to learn how to speak French, watching movies and listening to podcasts are the best options for you. If you need French to pass an exam or get a job, grammar and vocabulary books are going to be your best choice. Whatever you decide to use, make sure it's a resource that's going to help you reach your goal fast. I'd like to share 5 easy steps that's going to help you become more fluent in French. Okay, so first, language is broken down into 4 major parts. You have your oral expression, which is speaking. Then you have your listening comprehension. You have writing. And then you have reading. You can join a French conversation group in your area. For example, you can join a French meetup group so you can practice your French. You can listen to podcasts while you're on your way to work or wherever. I'm going to list in the description podcasts that you can refer to: Coffee Break and French en route. You can write in French and have a French native speaker correct your writing. You can do reading comprehension exercise to ensure that you understand the words on the page. Daily French vocabularies. You can try using flashcards to memorize the words and memorize the vocabulary. You can either make your own flashcards or you can buy them at a bookstore. If you have a study buddy, you can try racing to see who can come up with the most French vocabularies. You can try a word puzzle, a word puzzle in French, and get as many words as you can in French. You can try setting small goals for yourself every few days or every few weeks or months. If your goal is to finish a French book, you want to find out how many pages you have to read every day to meet your goal, and you want to commit to reading those pages. If you're focused on reading comprehension, you might want to read a newspaper article every day. For listening comprehension, you may want to listen to a podcast during your commute. So you want to focus on small steps. Doing small things in little chunks will help you reach your goal. You need at least one good book to learn French. You want to choose a reliable French grammar book if your goal is to sit for an exam or work at an office in a French-speaking country. Unfortunately, there's no way around the grammar. So grammar is something you have to learn in French in order to become successful. If you're a visual learner, go for children's books or a comic book. For those of you who like to learn with translation, you may want to use a dictionary, a French and English dictionary. You can find one on Amazon. When I first moved to the US, I was a teenager. I did not speak American English. So when I went to college, when I would study, I always had a dictionary to help me understand the words in the textbooks, because a lot of the words were very challenging, so I didn't understand them. So it's almost like I was doubling up on the learning. I had to learn the lesson and then I had to learn the words. So it was quite a challenge. So I understand some of the challenge that you may be facing with French. Immersion is one of the most effective ways to learn a language. However, not everyone can afford a trip abroad. So we're going to have to find creative ways to still learn the language and make it work for us. However, there's still some things you can do. If you're part of a Facebook group, you can find a French native speaker and become a conversational partner. Or like I mentioned earlier, you can be part of a French meetup group. You can surf the internet in French. You can journal in French. You can change the language on your phone to French. You can listen to French music, to French radio, to French podcasts. There's this French channel that I like very much. It's called TV5 Monde. I'll put the link in the description. They have all types of documentaries. They have music. They have fashion. They have news. They have all types of anything that you're looking for. It's all in French. Now, also, I do know that French people do speak a little bit faster French when they speak it. So they also have different videos on here that are a little bit slower if you're just starting out, okay, on your French. When you watch movies, you may want to change the caption to French if it allows for it. You can also use post-its on different items in your household and write them in French. That way you can practice on a daily basis. You can attend events, meetings, and parties in the French local community so you can feel like you're part of them. So I hope these tips were helpful for you. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That way you can get notified, and hit the notification bell. That way you can get notified when I post a new video. On that note, on se dit à la prochaine. We'll see you soon. Au revoir.